That's my microphone.
Good morning out there in YouTube land this morning. I'd like to welcome all my people in the chat room. I'd like to say hello to all my Memorex people that are going to watch this broadcast later after we go off the air. And I hope everybody enjoys the show today. This is Frenzy Friday, or Friday Frenzy, with Brenda in the buff and Kelli in the raw. Broadcast later. And you are only going to get to see me today from the chin up. That's why it's Brenda in the buff. See, Kelli didn't tell me the whole story. When she said it was Kelli in the raw, I thought she was going to come without any clothes. So, you know, she kind of stuck me in this position today. So, hey, what you don't see is what you don't get. With that, I will introduce my guest that I have on the show today. I am very proud to present my good friend, Dr. Kelli Coffee. She is a doctor of metaphysics. She has the Kelli School. She has Raw Revolution, which is all natural skin and bath care products. She has Kelli on the Rocks, which is crystal energy. She has personal sessions. She has the Kelli School. She's a blogger, a psychic, a teacher, a healer, a YouTube show host, and she has more accreditations than I can even name. She is the most incredible woman I have ever met in my entire life, and I'm sure you're all going to be very impressed with her today. And we are planning to entertain the heck out of you. So with that, I will go ahead and turn Kelli loose on you. Go ahead, Kelli. Tell them all about yourself.
Oh my goodness, that was like one of the nicest things I think anybody ever said about me. You're so sweet. Oh my gosh, you're making me blush. If I didn't have so much makeup on, I would be blushing. Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to be on your show. This is really amazing. This is actually my, I don't want to say a comeback because I didn't really go anywhere. I just said, F you, YouTube. I'm going to take a break. I might not come back. So I decided to come back. And it's such a pleasure to be on your show as like my first interview coming back after this break. So thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure is all mine. I am just delighted to have you with me today.
Oh my gosh, the pleasure is mine. This is so much fun. So what do you do on Fridays? I mean, I know what I do on Fridays, like a little crazy, but
we generally go a little crazy here. Most of the week we talk about current events and stuff, which is so depressing. Oh my goodness gracious, you know, you're ready to jump out a 10-story window by the time you get done with all that stuff. So on Friday we just go nuts, you know, we just turn everybody loose and just have a good time. Sometimes we have some of the chatters come on the show, or we ask them questions, or they ask us questions, or we'll have a guest on. I've had Dwayne Hartman on. I've had Barry Littleton on.
Oh, yes, they're good. They're good.
So, you know, we just have a good time here and enjoy ourselves. We try to open our minds a little bit to other alternatives and just, you know, broaden our horizons a little bit. I know some of the chatters that normally come into the chat room probably do not know you. So it would probably be good for you to give a little introduction and tell them a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, hey guys, I'm Kelli. And there's an echo. That might be because you don't have on headphones. Oh crap. That happens. Do you have headphones or?
I have headphones.
Okay.
I'm here in my studio today, so I'm trying to do without them, but I can hear you just fine.
Okay. Yeah, there was a little bit of an echo, not a big deal. But yeah, I've been pretty much, if you want to call it psychic, I don't like that word. I just have a higher level of awareness. And I had it pretty much since I was born. I have seen things and known things ever since I can remember. I grew up Baptist. So I had to be real careful with this. I told my mom and she believed me. But she was like, oh, okay, Kelli, let's just not talk about this to anybody. I don't understand it, but I believe that something is going on with the things I would see and the things I would know. Because there were too many things that I knew before they would happen for her to doubt what was going on. And so there was a period of time where, like everybody who's starting to do this, when you start to tune in, you tune into the loudest radio stations the first. And those are the horrible things that tend to happen. That's a vibration that's very strong, and you tune in before you get those fine-tuning skills for your psychic abilities. So all the awful stuff, you know, when people are going to die, planes are going to crash, you know, that stuff comes flooding through. So I got so much of that. I just turned my abilities off. I said, I don't want to do this anymore. And there was a period of time where I didn't know things and I didn't see things, but I felt very lost and confused during that time. But at least the bad stuff was gone. So then by accident, I saw auras with somebody, big long story, but basically I saw auras. And then I was like, what was that? I saw colors around you. Oh my gosh. They're like, oh, what colors were they? Like, it was no big deal. I was like, okay, these are the colors. This is what I saw. And then I saw this other entity inside of him and all kinds of stuff that I just saw accidentally. And then after that, I thought, I wonder if I could do that on purpose. You know, that was on accident, but can I do it on purpose? So I went to YouTube and I found a lady in a trailer that had a video. This is how you see auras. And I did her technique and boom, there they were. And I thought, oh my gosh, you can teach people this. So I'm a teacher at heart. And so I started teaching people all this. And in the middle of all of it, I died. and I died, popped out of my body and went, oh, that's what we're doing here. Because you figure out what's going on. And I decided to come back. So I came back in my body. And after that, just my entire life was changed for the rest of my life. I was not going to live a life of superficiality, of just you know, oh, hey, I have pointed toe shoes this year instead of square toed shoes. You know, that was my life, is pleasing other people to make sure I complied. So, you know, screw that now. I have meaning in my life. I don't care much what people think of me. and I teach others how to take control over their life. I do one-on-one sessions where we work on people's issues in a relatively short period of time. They get over a lot of the things that they've been dealing with for a tremendous amount of time. So I love what I do. I love helping people. I love empowering people and all that good stuff. And it sounds like my daughter's awake. Sorry. Samantha, what are you doing? Things. Okay, can you quietly do things? I am in my house. This is my studio.
It is lovely. It is lovely.
Oh, yeah, we were gonna move and get a house where I could actually have a studio and all that. And Samantha's like, "I miss my friends." So we're staying here 2 more years till she graduates from high school. So I said, well, at least I'm moving my office to the corner.
Now you're located in the Dallas Fort Worth area, aren't you?
Correct.
They had a little excitement there last night, didn't they?
Yes, and I just talked to my husband that I should not publicly speak about that because I not only had some knowledge, but some, I don't know if you want to call them feelings or psychic information, to where I probably just need to kind of keep my mouth shut because I live here. Because I live here. If this was another city, I would probably start telling you everything that I know. But yeah, I'm sorry, I can't comment on that like I want to, like I would like to. But I think everybody kind of knows what's possibly going on. If I won't talk about it, they kind of know to look a little bit deeper.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, everything started going nuts last night, and you know, the my phone didn't go off, but my YouTube was going berserk, and my mail was going berserk, and everybody was getting real excited about everything that was happening last night. But I thought, wow, Kelli's out there in the thick of it.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. And the energy, and you can feel it. You can feel the energy shift in this area, because we don't watch television or anything like that. But I was getting ready this morning going, what is going on? You can feel it. And if you want to look at this on a level of another dimension, you know, what's going on. We're dragging the energy down. And I can feel it when it's in other cities. It's more of a knowing, but I'm feeling it here. So when they do this to us, when they do these things to us for their own, you know, selfish gain, it hurts and you do feel it. But this is also an opportunity that you can do, not to be reactionary and not to go in that direction, but to basically go inside of yourself and go, you know what? I'm bigger than this. There's so much going on above this. And, you know, there are things at work on other levels where you can work at different levels to fix things, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, what kind of well, I don't know what the proper wording is I want to put to this. What advice would you have for people that, kind of get overwhelmed by the current events and the negative connotation that is surrounding us at the present time, in order to be able to pull ourselves out of this negative slump that the country seems to be in?
Mm-hmm. I didn't know that the country was in a negative slump. I mean, that's how well my method is working for staying out of all of this. We haven't watched television in over 10 years. We just turn the television off. And it's not that we guard ourselves from the information or go, oh, it doesn't exist. We get the information in another form, because this is what I do to help people every day. When you get traumatized by visual things and pictures and images, which is basically how people think these days, when you get traumatized, what happens is you tend to pull your emotions inside of your body. And when you do that, you no longer are thinking logically. You have pulled them in here. So you are very receptive to the information that starts coming your way. So this is a tendency that we have to do this with visual. Oh my gosh, a little child just got blown up, and you just lose your mind and you pull your emotions in there. So one way of getting the information, if you want the information, if you are getting the information, get it in a form that's not going to traumatize you. In written form, go read about it and get the information there. Go see what independent people are saying about it. Get the information from another source, first of all, to get rid of that trauma that you experience, because this is a tactic that they use. They traumatize you. Whatever that big shock thing is, they put it out front. You're traumatized, and then it bypasses logic, and you're more likely to take in anything that they feed you. At that moment, when you come out of this this hypnotism of sorts, that's what they've done, is a type of brainwashing. When you come out of this later on, like 10 years later, when you go, 9/11 was an inside job, and I see all the details now. How could I not see all that, at the time? Because you had been traumatized and then told what to think after that. So this is a choice that we have made, and I'm not saying I don't get passionate about some stuff that I read, but I read it and I get passionate about it on my own terms, instead of somebody else yanking my emotions around and causing me to pull them. Your emotions are supposed to be outside of your body and not inside of your body, and that's what we do when we get traumatized. So that's the best advice I can give, is turn the freaking TV off. Turn it off and get the information in a way that you are best suited to receive.
Okay. All right. You've got a lot of things going on, with your school and with your spices and, all this. I'm going to just turn you loose. This is shameless plug day. Just go ahead, throw it all out there. Tell everybody all the stuff you got going on.
Oh my God.
I can't name them all. I can't even write them all down.
Well, with the spices, this is what I'm so excited about, is the spices, because this is going to help to fund my Kelli School. There's a lot of people out there that have money. A lot of people don't. And I don't want to exclude people that don't have the money to go to Kelli School and to learn all this stuff. But still, I have a family. I kind of had to pay for this table. I have some expenses in my time. We've got to get this stuff paid and have to pay Amber, to help with all this. So there are some expenses that have to be covered. But I want to be able to cover those expenses with the spices. So we're using some of the profits from the spices to do that. But the spices, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think when I even invented this. It was probably about 15 years ago is when I started to get this blend of spices that was like, whoa, it's like magic. Anything I put it on, it tasted fantastic. So I started doing catering. And I found out real quick, this is a lot of work and I don't want to keep doing this. so I had networked with all the caterers, and I started, giving, hey, I would call it Christmas crack. Well, that's what the police called it. I would give it to the police. They're like, are you sure there's not cocaine or crack in here? Because this stuff is so addictive and it's so good. Like, no. So I would give them Christmas crack, and then I started selling it to the caterers. They're like, oh my gosh, you make my food magic. Like I've got more. I'm like, oh, this is easier than catering, and it's a lot of work. So I'll just make spices for the caterers. So that's kind of how that started. And I won't get into the stalking, and it got a little crazy at one time. Someone who wanted my recipe because I wouldn't sell to them anymore because they got a little weird, and then they demanded my recipe, and it was kind of scary. I had to call the police. So that's what I'm saying. This recipe, there's something to it. And then after it was about 3 years ago, and I had given it away at Christmas time. And I was just so, this was always from Kelli at Christmas time. And my sister-in-law, she's like, oh, this is so delicious. Can I have the recipe? Okay. The recipe with the tablespoons in it, that recipe to make this much. She gets like a 5-gallon bucket and she mixes up and starts giving it away to people. I'm like, what? That was my special thing you did. So it's not special anymore. So I did need to improve it a little bit and do a few things with it. So I took it and I thought, okay, people are having a problem with junk food, fast food, and being addicted to it. It's that flavor. There's something in there that's just, I have to have some more of it. There's just that in all of this food that makes us fat and unhealthy. That it's in there. So besides the chemicals, we don't put any chemicals in there like MSG or any flavor enhancers, natural flavors, none of that. We don't put any of it in there. But what was the stuff that they're most commonly putting in these, fast food dishes and all the processed food that gets people so addicted? And I found the flavor combinations that was so common in all of them. So I added that too, just to get my sister-in-law. So you don't have the ultimate recipe. So I changed it. And then I made stew, I made soup, I made chicken, everything that I made. It was Chinese, Mexican, it doesn't matter what. The universal seasoning is that universal. Anything that you make, it enhances it. So I made the stew and I put the universal seasoning in it, the new one, instead of the old one. And my husband was like, oh, I would marry you again if I could. That was amazing. I'm like, it made everything that much better. So I was like, yeah, I got the spices now. So this family rivalry kind of turned into something that really, really helped people. So then I started selling it on my website, and people were like, you can't believe, Kelli, the stuff that I can get my kids to eat now, that they wouldn't eat these things, that they would eat it now. So this is my goal, is to put out spices that changes the flavor of food to make you feel like that addiction that you have to the fast food and the junk food. So you get that, you get that feeling that you've been craving while you're getting off that kind of food, and you're eating more of the good foods that actually make you healthy. And I lost 30 pounds doing it this way. So this is the result right here of my spices and putting it on good food, and you don't get tired of eating it. And it's wonderful every time. So that's my spices. And I was just so freaking proud of those. We've got a turkey rub that's absolutely amazing. And we're going to have all these spices for ribs, rib rub, stuff for chicken. We're going to have stuff for vegans too. Don't worry. We're going to have salad stuff. We're going to have dressings, all kinds of things that we're going to be putting out. So on the like the makeup and the skincare, we're changing laboratories right now. So I apologize that we have sold out of everything that we have with the Manuka Honey Gold Serum, in the process of changing laboratories, but we will keep everybody updated. If you want to go to kellicoffee.com, sign up for the newsletter, you can be updated on all of this progress. In the future. The jewelry store, oh my gosh, it's not really a jewelry store. It's energy. Like we have stackable energy. And Amber is sending me some of it so I can show you guys. But stackable energy is the crystals. And you just put them in combinations up and down your arms. There you go. Yeah.
I got my moonstones on.
Yeah, you get yours. So we help people that love to deal in crystals. Now, crystal is a tool. Right. It's not like I have to have my crystal or I'm handicapped. You want to be able to do stuff without the crystals. But if you need that, I'm going for a job interview, I need a little extra boost. Put on that bracelet to give you that, I can do this, this confidence that you need. That's what we do, is we help people with transportable crystals. how can you take your crystals with you and benefit from them during the day? That's what we do with the jewelry part of the company. So we just have a lot of stuff going on. We're going to be getting into clothing and accessories and stuff like that too. So
Cool.
Really exciting.
Well, now I put the link to your website in the description of the video. So I'll state it here just in case, anybody watching later that, doesn't think to look down. It's right below the video in the description, so they can look up your spices and your school and all that on your website. Are you still doing the tours?
On the tours, we have kind of paused on the tours. When you do these things, this is very dynamic. We started doing like the God consciousness, which is a really awesome thing. And then all of a sudden it kind of latched on and it spread like this, where then it's like, okay, we need to do something now, but maybe not the God consciousness tour, because it's like, okay, now what's next? What's next on that? So it's, the exciting thing is now it's taken on a life of its own as kind of like a movement, if you will. And then again, it's still another step. Like in our spiritual evolution and in our spiritual journey, we keep moving up step by step as we go. So this is just another level in that. So that's exciting. But we're gonna
we never stop learning as we grow. That's one of the things that I have. I don't know. I guess some people say that I kind of harp on it, but I'm a little older, so I've been around a little bit more than some of the younger people that watch the shows, and I know that life is about changing, and you have to change. If you're not changing, you're not living. So you have to take whatever it is that you have learned in your life and just keep growing with it and learning with it. And, I know a mistake that I made as a young person was latching on to whatever indoctrination that I had been fed.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was from home or school or church or whatever it was, just latching onto that. And this is what I've been taught, so this is the right way. And if you don't believe the way I believe, then you're wrong. Oh, my goodness. If I could turn back the clock to some of the things that I said back in my younger days, I'd eat those words, because no, that is not correct. Just because somebody has told you this does not make it so. Keep learning, keep educating yourself, keep talking to people, and open your mind, embrace different ideas. Think about things that people are telling you, and it will help you grow to be a stronger individual. I mean, I'll say this right now. I know for a fact that you did not get to be the person that you are by just latching on to something that you learned when you were a teenager and saying, okay, this is just the way it is, and this is the way it's always going to be. I mean, my goodness gracious, girl, you have lit the world on fire with all of the things that you have done and continue to do and continue to grow. I am amazed at your abilities. Absolutely amazed.
You're so sweet. You're making me blush. Oh my gosh.
I'm just telling it like it is.
Oh, I guess I see things differently, and I love to teach, and I love to show people stuff that they might not have seen. And this latching on to someone else's way of doing things, I call that ritual, protocol, whatever you want it to call it. But it's somebody else's, that's what I'm saying, is it's somebody else's overcomplicated way of doing something easy. When you do it the way that somebody else does it. And that's what I've been trying to strip it down to, is it's all about intention. This method does not matter. The visualization does not matter. It's whatever makes sense to you. And it's the intention. So I've also found a lot of the people that are like, Kelli, you're so awesome. And then I hate you. I'm going to do a hate video about you now. So I've had a few of those. Kelli, you saved my life. Now I hate you forever. So what will happen, what I will see happen a lot of the time is they will go on a spiritual journey and they'll get to a certain point. And I'm just throwing out something like the 8th dimension or whatever. So they'll kind of get stuck playing around in the 8th dimension, which there's nothing wrong with playing around in the 8th dimension. at all. Except when you go, I'm in the 8th dimension. This is the most awesome thing in the world. Everybody has to do this. And then I'm going to force everybody in my life to accept this as the truth and the absolute whatever. They're not going to be in my life. And okay, Kelli, ding dong. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to lose another one. I mean, I can already feel it when it starts. It's like, Kelli, you know, I've reached this place, and I'm so happy to get people there. And some of them transition really well, but some of them then go, oh, now everybody has to do it this way. Yeah. You know, and those are the ones that start hating Kelli. There's a pattern. I see a pattern when this happens.
Well, everybody's got their own path, you know. I think maybe the person that's stuck in the 8th dimension, maybe that's where they ought to be, you know.
But that's great.
Try to force anybody else to do the same thing that you're doing, put you all in that cookie cutter mold that, okay, we're just going to pop everybody out to be exactly like me because I'm perfect. Oh, no, you're not.
You're still learning just like the rest of us.
You're perfect for you, but you're not perfect for everybody else. Yeah. Our own path to walk.
I don't know about you. I just fell down and got back up. I do it daily.
I know you've gone through this too, where people tell you how you need to be and what you need, you know, you need to do this and you need to do that and you need to tell me how to fix this. And it doesn't work that way. I mean, you give them advice, but you can't, you know, tell them how to fix anything. It's going to be up to them to figure out how to fix it.
Oh, exactly. And that's what I tell them. I try to talk in pictures all the time. What I help them to get is a toolbox, and I help them to know how to use the tools. But here's your toolbox. You have to do this. I can't do it for you. And when I do my sessions with people, that's what I do. I just make sure they understand how this is going to work. Like, I'm not doing this for you. I'm teaching you how to do this. And I'm watching as you do it. This is the cool thing with being able to see. And I didn't realize how well I could see till I started working with a lot of people. I just thought this was like the normal way that everybody who is psychic saw, like, could see things and all that. And all of a sudden, I'm seeing all these things. It's like, I'll have someone do a technique to do this with energy. I'll just use XYZ with energy. And I'll tell them, okay, just let me know when you feel like you're finished doing XYZ, and I'm going to watch you. So I turn over here, and they're like, you said you're going to watch me, Kelli. I am watching you. So anyway, so I watch what they're doing with the energy, and then say, okay, I'm done. So I'll start to tell them, okay, it looks like you tried this 4 times. And the first time, this is how it looked, and this is what happened with the energy, and then then that happened. And the second time, it was like, it's too much. And so anyway, I just do this description of everything that I saw with the energy while they were doing whatever it was. And they're like, oh my gosh, Kelli, you could see that. That's exactly what I was doing, and I could see it. So it's just kind of, I don't know, it surprises me every time I see that stuff. Why is that I don't have confidence in that? I think that's common, though, that nobody has confidence in their abilities.
It's confidence in your abilities, but it's also a gift. And I think it's a gift that you have honed over the years, that, you know, you have improved it. You have worked with it. I think a lot of people have gifts that they have no idea that they have because they've never done anything to enhance those gifts or improve them.
Okay. And
just my opinion.
Did this from the time I was a child, I guess.
Yeah.
That it's just normal to me now. Okay.
Well, and I know a lot of the gifts that I had as a child were snatched from me in the respect that it was taught that, no, you don't do that. That's not the way that we're going to do things here. You know, when you have controlling parents, you know, or even at school or whatever, and it's taught that it's taboo, you know, and it's to the point where it's so taboo to the people that are snatching these gifts away from you that you fear for your life. You know, if I do that, they're going to kill me. So you bury them, and you don't improve on them. You don't work on them. You just shove it in a hole someplace and cover it up and say, okay, we're not allowed to do that. And I think that's something that's probably happened to a lot of people that have wonderful gifts that they just never work with.
I am so glad that you brought that up, because that is the pretty much the number one thing that is going on with everybody not being able to see auras or do other things are blocks. I'll just simply call them blocks that you have in place. I have several methods that I use in the sessions with them to get rid of these blocks. To go, hide and seek. Let's go find them. Go find where the block is. What do you do with that block? How many levels is this block on? What all is involved? I have them go through it's just a simple visualization technique where they make most of it up. It's like, okay, set the intention that whatever you're attached to looks like a cord between you and it. Look down and see the cord. There it is. It's like follow the cord. What is at the end of the cord is, what's going on. So I have them go and find it. We also find programs that the parents have developed, or software programs, if you want to call it, and they're still running. It's their values. Because my mom woke up before, when the rooster started, probably before the sun came up. She had to get up and go milk the cows. So she had a reason to get up every morning. But here, with raising me, why did I need to get up before the sun came up when I don't have a whole lot to do, till the sun gets up, then I can start doing stuff. So, it was her value that was good for her for what she was doing, but she put this value on me that didn't work for my life because I was a night owl. I needed to stay up later and be more creative and more productive later. So that value system that she had that obviously worked for her family, everything that she was doing in her life wasn't working for me. So I had to find that program. Where was that program running? Okay, let's get rid of that program like you would an alien implant, and let's get rid of it. Also, when you got the cords, I work with people with disconnecting the cords, and thing we do, it's like, oh my gosh, the relief that they feel. Every cord you cut, every block you take out, every implant you remove, you are closer to this independence, this freedom, and you start feeling that freedom as you get things taken off of you. And all of a sudden you get down to you. You're making all the decisions. You're deciding what goes on in life and not these things. And you realize how much these were controlling you and how much control you have over them, how much control you have over your emotions. And this is one of the things that I'm going to be teaching in the videos when I do the comeback is a bunch of how-to stuff. These are actually going to be less than 5 minutes. Yes, I know, a Kelli video, less than 5 minutes telling you how to do something. So I'm going to have like 30 of those or more with these techniques. And one of them will be how to push your emotions back to where they belong, because your emotions don't belong in your body. Society has taught us to put them there and to keep them there. I've even looked at illustrations in these spiritual, even stuff that's older, the spiritual stuff. Oh, here's your emotional body. What the frack is emotional body? I've been in other dimensions and I haven't seen anything that they have on the diagram. It doesn't make sense to me. When I see emotions, they look like balloons that are colorful, that are inside people's bodies, that belong in this. When I see somebody's soul, it tends to be more cocoon shaped around their body, mostly gold when I see it. So they've got this, and it appears almost like brightly colored balloons inside of this dome area, as if you have this big umbrella over you and they caught all the balloons. And that's where your emotions, like the factory settings on your soul, that's where your emotions are supposed to be. So when we go through life in our culture, what do we do to men? Don't cry. Well, where do you put it? Right here. You pull it inside your body and you hold it there because you're not allowed to express it. So we teach through the school system and through working. Oh, you're having a bad day. Suck it up and be professional and get the job done. And suck it up. So we develop all these coping techniques, which is basically pulling these inside of our body. And it's just a real simple technique, visualization. Nobody even needs me to do it. They can do it themselves. But you push it out to where it belongs. All of a sudden, something that, grandma dies. This is horrible. You go to bed, you cry, you get the flu because you lowered your immune system from pulling that sadness inside your chest. And then now we got some problems with our lungs and all that going on, and we're down for 2 weeks because grandma died. So as opposed to pulling it in your body, put your emotion out here beside you. Oh, grandma died. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I miss grandma. Huh. You can wholeheartedly cry for a whole hour. And then after you cry, go, okay, yeah, let's go fix dinner. And then you can go fix dinner. So the reason that you came here, or one of the reasons that you came here, was to experience all of this. You wanted to see what this was all about. You want to experience sadness. You want to experience anger. You want to experience jealousy. You want those experiences. That's why you came here. The problem is getting stuck and holding on. That's the problem. So now grandma died. I'm not feeling misery. Oh, there's a cat. I'm not feeling misery for 2 weeks because grandma died, because grandma wouldn't want that for me. You know, no good grandma would. But I appropriately grieved for grandma, and I'll grieve again. I'll cry. I'm going to cry again. But now I'm functional, and I can go fix dinner and overeat if that's my next emotion I want to feel. What does it feel like to overeat? You know, strawberries or whatever. So, and on. So this is something that we've done, is we pull these things. Once you go, oh, I guess it is in there, because I have people go and look. They go, oh, it is there. And then I show them what it feels like, because I can see whether they're all out or not. I can tell if they are just by looking, and help them with the technique. So the next time it's like the unexpected bill comes, that they're like, okay, just put my emotions back where they belong. But yes, empowering people and seeing some people get off of methadone, and some people stop drinking, stop smoking. There's no guarantee that they're not going to be doing these things. But when you eliminate the source of the stress, you no longer need that cigarette. You no longer need to keep going shopping every day to fulfill those needs. So it's just, this is one of the most fulfilling things I've ever done in helping people. Is these sessions. So exciting.
I got a question for you, just off the top of my head. I was watching one of the hosts last night, and she happens to be in the chat room right now. She was talking about the black-eyed children. What insight do you have about black-eyed children?
I've never really looked in that direction. I saw it because there's so much stuff that I have to focus my attention on. The black-eyed children was kind of in the negative for me. It was something that I just never wanted to look at. So I'm going to go ahead and just look. I don't normally do this.
Okay.
But I don't know. I'm going to see what I see when I look. And I'm a little nervous right now. So I'm doing this on camera. This is kind of weird. I'm just looking to see what's going on with them. I see some adults that look similar to them, and I don't know what they have to do. I don't know what their relationship is, if that makes sense. Like the black-eyed children look more normal, like children, human children. But what I'm seeing, like governing over them, if that makes any sense, is almost like a gray. Only it's the one that has the double hemispheres on the head. That's really large, and they are very dark gray. They're not like a light gray. They've got kind of a darker tint to their skin, and they've got the big black with huge black eyes, and they have robes on. They have types of robes that comes out with kind of a sleeve that kind of comes out. Let's see what else I see. I'm seeing craft, almost like they I'm trying to see what kind of connection it is to a craft. And they're showing me stuff that's not literal, kind of like a test tube. Like they don't literally use a test tube, but they're showing me this for me to understand what they're doing. So this was kind of like it looks like a type of program where in some form, they're not showing me exactly what they're doing, but in some form there's a genetic type material that's being transferred to the mother. The mothers of these children. I'm seeing something along those lines. Where did you come from? Okay, it looks like, is it through the 8th? I don't know what this means. I'm sorry. I'm just looking, trying to get information, because I haven't researched the black-eyed children. I don't know the story behind them. Because once I start looking into it, then I research it and do all of that. So I haven't researched yet. This is just what I'm seeing. It looks like they're able to go into up to like the 8th dimension and do stuff there. Like between the 5th and the 8th dimension is where I feel like they're the happiest. That makes kind of the most sense to them. And I don't know how to make this make sense in English, what I'm trying to tell you. So that seems to be kind of like where they're from, that they have ties. And then they have, okay, the ones look a little bit larger there. Well, when I say larger, not necessarily bigger, but like daddy to the ones that are there with the double hemispheric head. So,
Okay.
and I don't know. What's the story of the black-eyed children? Because I was just waiting to see what I saw.
I don't really know either, but they were talking on this one show I was watching last night about this one lady said that she was alone in her house and she went to her door and because there was somebody knocking on the door and it was kind of a weird knock. And so she went to see who was there, and there were two of the black-eyed children at the door, and they wanted to use the phone. And she told them, well, I'm here alone. Let me have the number and I'll call it for you. And they wouldn't allow her to do that. And she says, well, I'm sorry, I'm not going to let you in my house with me here alone. And she shut the door and she grabbed the phone and she called the police. But when she goes back to look out the window, they're gone. I mean, it was like they just poof, vanished, disappeared.
And that makes a little more sense, because some of this felt like, because I was seeing this and going, this doesn't make sense. So I set my intention to look at something different, like the physical ones. There are two. They look like they have on a type of robe. I don't know if that's how they appear when they show to people, but it looks like almost like they're coming out of a ship. And then you've got the ones who are physical, like humans. So that makes sense to why. Because when I first started coming out of a ship, I'm like, I don't think the black-eyed children are are supposed to be out of a ship. It's the human one. So when I set that intention, I saw that we had an alien influence. So this might be two separate things that I'm seeing and tuning into. I need to do more research on it. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. This is how we all learn. Nobody's born knowing it all. You learn as you go.
And usually if you read about it or hear about it first, it kind of sets your intention to where you blind yourself to certain things. So I always like to look before I research something and see what I see, even if it doesn't make any sense, and then go research it and see what matches, because some people just make stuff up. And
for the viewers that are not aware of the different dimensions, you mentioned the 5th to the 8th dimension. What is that compiled of?
You've got dimensions and densities. Dimensions are constructs of the mind. So we can go up into the 5th through the 8th dimension in our mind. We can already do that and access the same places that these people can access. They can also access it in a density as well. Like we are, the 3rd density. we're very dense right here. Mm-hmm. But we go into like the 4th dimension. It's a different density. Our bodies are a different density, where it's more energy, less mass or matter, and so they're able to not only in a mental construct go into these dimensions, but there's a physical, I don't know what words to use, physical aspect as well, where they can go there. And they can also, on an energetic level, work with us. So has anyone ever touched one of those black-eyed children? That would be a good question, if they've actually touched them or not. Because I'm getting this weird feeling that you might not be able to touch them.
Yeah. Reach out and go through someone.
Yeah, because I'm not feeling them. I can't feel them in this dimension. It doesn't make sense. So, I don't know.
How many different species of alien beings have you? I'm not going to say come in contact with, or been associated. I don't know what the proper terminology is for it.
I don't either, because I've done all this stuff and I haven't researched it yet, so I don't know what to call anything. You've got these aliens, and I'm going to use all the wrong words, so just get prepared. But I'll explain what I'm trying to say. So we've got these aliens that are kind of physically doing things. They're coming here. They're Sasquatch or Bigfoot or whatever. Some of them are coming here and doing stuff. And you've got it's not the government, but it's whatever is attempting to govern this planet. You have things on that level. You have a lot of copying. a lot of cloning, copying of stuff that's above. So when I go on a journey with the healing and we expand someone's aura, we basically go on a journey in travel. So we go outside of this universe, and then we go outside of the multiverse, and then outside of the omniverse, and see how all of that works. And then when you start getting into what I call the cell, it actually kind of looks like a big eyeball. That's what it reminds me of. This big cell that we're inside of, with the different things inside the cell that you go and visit, all of a sudden we're seeing entities at this point. There's a place for transportation. Basically, you go and come from a certain type of technology, and then you got like a hallway where you can go into this, wherever you are now, you can come and go. So in this place, I see every single thing that you have seen somebody draw or talk about or explain that's been abducted, or whatever their encounters are with these creatures. I see all of them. I even see fairies. I even see gnomes and leprechauns and angels and humans and stuff that looks like Nordics. You see reptilians, stuff that looks like Pleiadians. It doesn't matter what it was or who's drawn it. I see it out there. And when we're out here, and this is the part I don't quite understand how this works exactly. I'm just kind of there. I get the big picture, but other people have the right vocabulary to what I'm seeing. So these entities on this level, they're coming and going, and of course we're there in a form that's not astral projection. You don't want to go and mess with these in that form, but remote viewing. I take everybody in remote viewing form, which most of them are able to do it quite easily. But so we go in remote viewing form. It doesn't bother anybody, but still, no one's going, oh, hey, look, it's a human. Go abduct them or go take them. They don't even care. It's like in New York when you're walking along the sidewalk, just like nobody looks at each other. In this place, they didn't grow up on Earth. They don't have Earth, politeness. But it's a place where you can see all of these creatures. When you go beyond that and you go into the ship that I call the Akashic Records, there's a ship that has I haven't seen all of the aliens in the ship. The most I've seen, there are light beings in the ship. There are ones that do look reptilian. There are ones that look like mantis beings that walk around like this all the time. And you see the gray ones that have those double hemispheres heads, but the head is like this big. The ones on the ship, it's just enormous heads. And these are the ones that manage and govern and regulate and all. And I'm sure there's other entities on here. It's just a huge ship that governs the entire omniverse. So it's just, I haven't explored all of it to see everything. But there are other entities on there as well. So these are the ones where, okay, this is way outside. It's before you get to the cell that we're inside of. But here's our universe right over here. Here's the omniverse over here. And here's where we are, where the ship is over here, bigger than the omniverse. So when you get to that level, all of a sudden you realize, oh my gosh, I was just, as a spirit, I was just kind of like, hey, what's going on out here? This is kind of, what are you guys doing? Oh, that looks like fun. What you building? I want to be a part of that. Oh my gosh, Earth? Sure, why not? So you go and you get in. If you want to think about it like this, it's almost like an amusement park ride where you've got the roller coaster. You're going to go get on a roller coaster, but instead of a roller coaster, you get in a pod. And then in this pod, everything happens around you. You never go anywhere. It just feels like you've gone somewhere and done a bunch of stuff, but you never went anywhere. And all these pods are lined up in rows and columns and all that. If you look at the multiverse bubble, put in multiverse bubble, you'll start to see the way that we're all lined up and stacked. Don't let it freak you out and don't be upset. Like, oh, Nemo or whatever in the Matrix, we're all in this goo swimming around. No, you opened the door, you sat down and said, let's have some fun. That's kind of what what happens. So anyway, we voluntarily, it's like, oh my gosh, aliens invented us and seeded our planet and it's controlling all the aspects of our life. Well, duh, yeah. But you said it was okay to do that. the cool thing is we're like, oh no, the aliens are attacking me. What do I do? I'm helpless. No, you're not. So go out to this place, go out to this ship, if you want to call it that. I don't know what to call it. I call it a spacecraft. Go out here, set your intentions to go in that room that governs this body, this 3D body, and this experience right now. Go into the room or space or whatever, your thoughts drive this. So you can create whatever you want in your mind to go look at. So you set that intention, you go find that place, and you can talk to the entities that are in there and go, hey, listen, I know that I was like probably drunk or high when I decided to come here, and I picked out what I was going to do while I was here. So let's have a do-over because I don't want to keep doing it anymore. And then you express that path that you had been on, that you chose to either suffer or be a martyr or victim or whatever it was. And just tell them, I'm done with that, not doing it anymore. And I need you to line everything up and fix this. When you get to the point where I do it through expanding the aura, that's a great way to expand your level of awareness. You get your aura out there into this place. You don't have to ask the entities for anything. You don't tell them what to do. You just go, oh, I'm going to change it when you're up there. And that's what I show people to do, is not just, okay, this is how it is. Well, now what? What do I do now, Kelli? So here's something that you can do about it. You can change what's going on this planet. You can change the direction of everything by coming out here, bringing your level of awareness on a higher level and functioning out here. It changes everything in the video game. So
manifesting your own reality.
Yes. Did I even answer your question? Probably not.
Oh yeah, it's manifesting your own reality. A lot of people think that they're stuck in whatever situation that they happen to be in, and they don't know or don't realize that they can manifest their own reality by just changing a few minor things. And if you get a group of people that can just mentally manifest their own realities, it will change things. And I don't think people get that. I don't think they understand that. And I think that's part of the indoctrination. It is.
And that's what I do. I remove those blocks. And then when I take them out here and show them these things, then they're like, oh my gosh, I am that powerful. So it's the difference between knowing and believing. Believing you got information, you don't know if it's true or not. Knowing is I take you out here and I show you and you go, oh, I am God. I can change all of this.
I'm constantly reminded of something that Peter Maxwell Slattery said, that when he was on a ship and he was talking to some of the entities, that they just looked at him and said, you don't know who you are, do you?
Yeah. I know, right? He's an awesome person, by the way. He's so cool.
Yes, he is. He's great. Him and Solrita. I don't know why my tongue always just slides right around her name, but yeah, both of them are great. I guess the whole bunch has been up at SETI up in Washington here the last week or so. Barry's been up there with them. They've been sending their pictures out on the internet, making me jealous.
Oh, I know. I've seen it. I'm busy down here in Texas.
Beth's been up there with them, the whole bunch of them has been up there having a big party and, left us out.
That's all right. I'll be in Florida in October.
Oh boy, you're on some traveling.
I'll be there with N5D invited me to be a speaker at their conference. So
wow.
So that'll be in October, and you can go to the N5D website for that information.
Cool. Well, what else do you need to plug? You're here for the Shameless Plug Friday thing.
Shameless Plug Friday. That is so funny. I don't know. I've got so many awesome things that I'm going to be doing. The videos, the cooking show when it comes out. I'm going to do a cooking show. And I don't know, I want to do my Q&As differently. I'm not sure of what, but I want to do them differently. If not, go get in bed or something. Like bring my stuff in there, my computer in there, and just get in bed with my pajamas on or something, and just have a Q&A.
You have like over 1,000 videos on YouTube now, don't you?
Yeah, I've got about 1,200 videos on
Wow.
YouTube. A lot of them.
Wow.
So yeah, there's kind of a Kelli for everybody. If you need
Yep.
Kelli not knowing what she's doing and struggling and crying and whining and falling down and getting back up, and there's that Kelli. And then you've got that, oh, I kind of figured some things out. Okay, now we have instructional Kelli, and we have Mama Kelli. You better do this, you know. So we got Mama Kelli, we got Sister Kelli, we got all kinds of Kelli videos and just crazy ones, stuff that I just wanted to do for the sake of doing it. I did a video.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of what I've done. And I'm still going to do some crazy stuff, but for the most part, it's going to be different, a little more consistent and uniform than I was in the past. So, well, look, a caterpillar. You know, maybe we don't need to do videos about
life's all about
anymore.
having fun and learning as you go, and doing things that you enjoy. See, I'm just recently retired, and when I retired, I kind of got involved with the YouTube thing, and people were saying, "Oh, you need to do some videos," and I thought, well, what am I going to do video on? I mean, nobody's going to want to hear anything that I've got to say, for crying out loud. And then I discovered, no, there are a few people that would like to hear some of the stuff that I got to say. So I started out with my own channel, and I still have it up. I still do some videos on it. I call it Frequency, but I'll put a link in the description of it, anybody that wants to go see it. But I started out, I did a thing about ham radio. I'm a ham radio operator, because I knew there were some people that had expressed an interest in wanting to be a ham radio operator, but they didn't know where to turn or what to do. So I thought, well, okay, I know a little about that, so I'll put that out there. And then in just being in chat rooms and stuff, I got to talking to some folks that they enjoyed my stories about the old days, and so I called it Story Time with Brenda. And I started putting some videos up, calling them Story Time, over on my channel. And just, I try to put a moral to them. Not all of them have a moral. Some of them are just goofy stories. But, I try to share a little wisdom and try to help people grow with some of my Story Time videos. And, it's just something that I've been doing for fun here in retirement. But, it amazes me, and I know you've probably been through this as well. I've told people that now that I am a big-time YouTube talk show host and co-host, that I have the roughest time going out of the house because I am mobbed. I go up to the Walmart store, and they mob me for my autographs. And I can't wear my stretchy pants and my flip-flop up to the Walmart no more, because of the picture sessions and all this. And I know you go through the same thing,
I know.
You just can't go out of the house because you're so popular.
Well, in Texas, because this is not, Texas is like the 4th popular state in the United States that watches me. But I just kind of stayed inside, and then when I went outside, I had no makeup on, with my sweats, and sometimes I would comb my hair, so no one would recognize me, and I kind of got used to that. It's like I have millions of people watching, and nobody knows who I am. So I kind of was like, yeah, I'm doing this. And then I go to California. It was about 2 years ago. I'm trying to remember, 2.5, something like that. So I go to California, and when I went there, everywhere I went, I was like, "Are you Kelli? For Kelli in the Raw? Oh my God, it's Kelli!" And then we I call it the Justin Bieber scream. Justin Bieber! So I was like, oh my God, so I was freaked out. I don't know what to do. So yeah, everywhere I went. And then my husband, he wrecked the truck, and the insurance company called me to ask when it was coming in to be about, what do you mean? I didn't wreck the truck. I'm in California. Oh, I'm sorry, you don't know yet. What? Here I am in the grocery store, what? So I'm calling my husband. I can't even talk, on the phone, and I'm trying to pick out sushi at Ralph's, and so I'm like, so I got off the phone. He hung up on me because it's like, oh. So I'm just sitting there in California. I feel like crap. And so this girl walks up. Are you Kelli from Kelli in the Raw? Yes, I am. So I'm just crying. Do you need a hug? Yes. I
got the biggest kick out of it.
Okay, now so breathe and do these techniques. And I'm thinking, he's using my techniques on me for calming me down. But she watched my show and she had helped me using my own techniques. She had helped me in the middle of Ralph's when I got that phone call. So yeah, it was crazy. And I went to California. I've been to California several times, and I went to California, and then it just every time I would go out to the pool side, there would be the chanting, Kelli, Kelli. I was like freaking out. This is Southern California, and so it was like these are crazy party people that we go to this club, and Kelli gets on stage under the pyramid, like all kinds of stuff. Like they kept bringing me stuff with tequila in it, so I kept dancing. So, and we were just having a great time. And it's like most of the people there knew who I was, so it was just the weirdest thing being on stage with a couple hundred people yelling your name. It was so weird. It was just crazy. So then we went into Northern California, and no one knew who I was in Northern California. So.
I got tickled at that story you told about trying to get the plane reservations that time, and you're giving the information over the phone, and that lady says, "Are you Kelli Coffee?" I think you was trying to change Samantha's reservations or something.
Yeah, she just Samantha's reservations, and she's like, "Are you Kelli Coffee or Kelli?" How did you know? It's just your voice. I've done that. I've been in a restaurant where I'm like, blah, 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 blah. And, there's a waiter come by and goes, "Oh, I thought that was you. I heard your voice from across the restaurant. I thought that was you." I guess my voice is that bad.
Memorable, not bad, just memorable.
Oh my gosh.
That's what I keep telling myself. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it,
Oh my goodness. We're going to have so much fun when I come back. I'm just relaxed. I'm ready to go. This is just going to be so exciting. All the new things that are going to be happening on the channel and with everything and the companies. This is only going to get better and better and better. I'm really excited. Yeah. And I'm going to do a reality show. Wow. I have to get a little more money first because I need to hire someone to follow me around with the camera. I can't get my husband or my daughter to do it. That would be really cheap. Can't make it easy on Kelli.
Get a go cam and strap it to the cat.
There you go. There you go. And then when the cat runs off and I have to buy another one, I'll call you.
Put some tuna in your pocket and it will never leave you.
That's right. It's Kelli's ankle cam. All we can see is Kelli's ankles from behind with the cat following her. Nice shoes, Kelli.
Oh, man. Oh, gosh. Well, Kelli, this is absolutely... Well, this has been a hoot. I've been just jonesing to have you on the show. I knew that you had to have a little recovery time and all that, but I thought as soon as she's ready to jump in, I'd love to have her on the show because I know we just have a hoot.
Oh, thank you. And we did. This is a lot of fun.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to wrap it up here and, you stick with me and we'll go to the after show off the air. So I would like to thank everybody that's in the chat room today. And I'd like to thank all my Memorex viewers that are going to be seeing the show later. I know some are on different time schedules and some are working and all that. And they like to watch when they get home. So we'll bid you adieu for today. We hope you have a wonderful weekend. Hope you have beautiful weather wherever you are. Stay safe. And we will see you on Monday. Bye-bye.